Well, hello, Rohan. Thank you so much for joining us today and taking this time to chat.
Thank you so much for having me.
I would love to start with just maybe a quick intro into you and a little bit about your role at AAA.
I am the Chief Underwriter for AAA Life. This is my second stint at the company. The first stint, I was in a more operational role. I was the Chief Underwriter. This time around, I'm the Chief Underwriter, but I'm looking more at mortality risk. I'm looking more at risk management and elements of product development, as well as managing the portfolio. So think of it, I'm looking and thinking about things that are going to happen in 6 and 12 months or 18 months in time.
Glad that you're back and settling in. Before we get into future state, which it seems like is a focus for you as you come back into AAA, what have you seen as big changes in the industry the last couple of years, and kind of what were some of the significant impacts you think that you've seen?
I think we have been, as an industry, changing slowly but steadily over the last 10, 15 years. Initially, be it bringing in the e-app, then adding more data sources. So we initially had prescription, then we added medical billing, then we added existing lab data. Then we saw the proliferation of different models that helped us in underwriting as well as accelerated underwriting. And now we have tools that are assimilating all that information for us, like DigitalOwl. And a lot of this is happening not specifically because the life insurance industry is intentionally looking at changing something, but there's a lot happening around us. Right? There's this whole fear that AI is this black box thing that's going to kind of take over the world. And we know it's not. I mean, you look at the innovation that Amazon's doing, you look at the innovation that companies like Zoom are doing. All of that, at the end of the day, has an impact on us, right? It's here to make our lives better. And it's here to help our customers.
You were one of the first people to really believe in DigitalOwl. What gave you the confidence in us and kind of what we were doing?
I believe what really struck me from day one is the amount of transparency that DigitalOwl's team brought to the table. Because as soon as we started meeting, we had questions about, okay, tell us about how many data scientists do you have? Tell us about how you're going to ensure quality. Tell us about where the data is stored. Tell us about where it's implemented. What is your training data set? So there was a lot of transparency. But also, I saw the vision that your team was bringing in terms of what problem this is going to solve. DigitalOwl was fairly clear that this is the problem that we are going to solve, as well as future-proofing us. So it was not just the summaries or extracts for underwriters to consume, but also bringing infrastructure for that data to be consumed later by machines in rules engine. And I have to thank DigitalOwl, because as we were rolling out the solution, they did spend a lot of time with our underwriters going back to the real basic of how underwriting has evolved, but also about AI.
Absolutely. And what are some of the ways that AAA today is starting to kind of streamline and improve their underwriting process?
So as a company, AAA Life has always been at the cutting edge of innovation, be it building our own internal rules engine 10, 15 years ago, or be it starting to store medical data in tables that we can then access for future analysis. And we started that about 10 years ago, right? So we are sitting on a lot of data. So this year, a primary focus is moving all our new business to a new underwriting and administrative platform, as well as bringing in new applications that will help streamline the underwriting process. So I think that is very important for us, is are we getting in with the right client that will allow us to be successful not just today, but in the future, and also scale our operations as we grow.
Ensure that the partner will be able to grow with you.
Yes.
And that they're looking to the future and how they can continue to evolve as well.
Absolutely.
So when you bring these partners on, and let's say you're rolling something like DigitalOwl out, how do you guys start to look at that process? There is a little bit of like a learning curve, it's an adjustment. How do you see approaching that and making that a successful kind of transition?
From my vantage point, it's very important that our partners like DigitalOwl understand us as a company, understand who we serve, and what kind of products and what processes we are involved in, as well as what our operations look like and what are some of the challenges. And internally also setting up expectations that it's not going to be an immediate smooth sail, that it's going to be a learning curve. And we start slowly permeating the message across the different ranks in the company, right from our management all the way to our frontline underwriters, telling that this is coming, this is going to be the impact, but also embrace this with an open mind. And I think it's about people, right? Okay, you need to kind of trust, because there has to be trust and there has to be openness, and your team brought that to the table.
And I think when we talk about like mutual successful partnerships and the different outputs that we now provide, a lot of that also came from transparency from your team and providing feedback and what we were missing in different types of ways to get that data for you all that could be beneficial. So it has helped us evolve our products and offerings as well.
And that's what we aim for. We look for mutual success and for both of us to grow together.
I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today and to learn a little bit from you and your processes. So thank you for taking the time to meet.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.